Now in this video, I'm going to be talking about Yareli. Yareli is an amazing frame, but when she came out, she really wasn't. So the first thing I'm going to mention is this is a video about Yareli hate. I personally love her. I think she's an amazing frame, and I think her gimmicks are very cool. She's basically just, I think she's like water Neja, in my opinion. I mean, like, she's got the damage vulnerability, damage reduction, status immunity, throwing discs. She's literally got it all. She's right there alongside Neja. But when she came out, all she had going for her was a little bit of crowd control and a decent build if you played with the secondaries. It was pretty shocking, to say the least, because to get her base frame, you have to go through a quest called Wave Rider. And back in 2021, this was horrible. It was mortifying to a lot of the player base because a lot of people don't actually do anything on K drives. So being forced to do something solely on a K drive was nothing short of evil to them. Back then, I heard a lot more hate about the quest than Yareli herself, even though she was quite literally one of the weakest frames at the time. But it's 2026. She's had multiple buffs throughout the years, and with that came damage vulnerability. As I mentioned earlier, she has damage vulnerability. With her one, you have a little bit of crowd control, make damage float in the air, and it gives them damage vulnerability, making them take an insane amount of damage to pistols, making them take an insane amount of damage from all sources. And it's not a weak amount of damage vulnerability either. It's 200% at base, and it can scale. That is an insane amount of damage vulnerability to give. It scales 1% with strength. So if you have 59% added strength, you get 59% more damage vulnerability. If you have a 300% strength build, you have 400% damage vulnerability. Now, this form of damage vulnerability is incredibly useful, not just because it makes enemies take more damage, but because it's a cast and forget. You cast it, picks up enemies, crowd controls them, and you literally don't have to think about it. You can just attack them. And it has auto aim as well, so you could be facing away from an enemy, it'll shoot out and then hunt them down, so long as they're in range, of course. Then her fourth ability got much better at grouping. This is incredibly important for crowd control. It's so easy, it's absurd. This is an incredibly nice form of crowd control. And now onto the thing that people hated the absolute most. More hate than anything you've probably heard of in this game was simply that Merulina just does not work indoors. I mean, you've tried it out, I'm sure. You hop on Merulina indoors, and it's very weird. It's not good. You don't have a lot of open space. You crash into walls. The gimmick isn't good. It's not nice. It gives you damage reduction, sure, but at what cost? You're forced into only using your pistol, which is kind of the gimmick of her to begin with, but now you can't use your primaries or melee weapons either, and you can't exactly maneuver too well in this indoors, especially on the small ass tile sets. DE heard these complaints and came out with 2 augment mods for her. Loyal Merulina allows you to have Merulina to your side. You no longer need to ride it. It's amazing, especially since it casts Sea Snare for you, which always keeps damage vulnerability on the enemies, allowing you to do more damage. So with all this stuff that she has, the ability to crowd control with ease, the ability to give damage reduction, the ability for no longer needing to ride annoying Merulina while casting Sea Snare without any cost via, Merulina. Insane amount of damage with your pistols. It's enough to make some people wonder, why at all do people still complain about Yareli? Now, the thing I've noticed the most about Yareli complaints isn't anything really about her anymore. It's all just her reputation. Her reputation was so tarnished during her first few months. Her release was putrid. It was horrible. That hate kind of just carries over. People that experienced being on the K drive in close tile sets and getting their ass beat, people that had literally nothing going for them while they played Yareli, trying to give her a chance, all of that kind of just culminated into everlasting hate. Now, today, she is a very good frame. Today, she is a frame that can go up to level cap if you want. Today, she is a frame that you could proudly say is a very strong and powerful weapon platforming frame. So, in my opinion, most of the hate for her, if you hear it nowadays, is pretty outdated usually, because now she has excellent survivability, strong crowd control, great secondary weapon synergy, great augment options, good steel path performances, and amazing damage vulnerability. I suppose the only negatives would be that you need an augment to get yourself off of Merulina if you don't want to be on her. She has a very frustrating quest for some people, and her third ability is the weakest in her kit. And aesthetically, she might not be a favorite for some people. But anyway, with that being said, that's pretty much just about it. Like I said, I think she's an amazing fan. But tell me, what do you think about her? Do you love her? Do you hate her? If you hate her for a reason I didn't mention, I'd love to hear about it. So far, the only thing I've been able to find out about why people hate her is stuff that is completely outdated. But I'd love to hear something else that is new or a bug that I don't know about. Anything, really. And with that being said, until next time.